All right, so we're back into upper body workouts. So we're going to be looking at a curl to overhead press. Now I wanted to make sure that we're not gassing out and we're not overloading our cardiac systems so you can actually push through these a little bit better, which is why we're doing these on a single arm rather than doing both or even alternating. If I'm alternating, right, and I go, this whole time that my left arm is moving and vice versa, my other arm is not doing jack shit. And so that's one of the reasons why I kind of want you to be just focusing on one. If I do here, I might not be able to move as much weight, and I'm going to be less conscious of my form. So I really want you to be focusing on getting your form to clean up a little bit here. So I'm going to keep from the beginning, I want to kind of pull out a little bit here so that my elbow is disconnected from my body. This puts immediate tension into my biceps, and then I come up. Keep in mind that when I go through this type of motion, the long head of my biceps femoris actually attaches to my shoulder and actually helps with shoulder flexion. So having this out actually engages my biceps already, and then I curl up. And then I'm going to switch the palms up as I go up. Now I want you to be thinking about dropping your shoulders back and down. So remember, we have started to work on this shoulder roll motion here. So I want you to be thinking about the latter half of that as you go up into that overhead press. So I go here, and that helps you keep that shoulder down. Okay, now I'm going a little bit fast because I'm actually demonstrating it and I just did the circuit workout video for you, but here, I get up, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm actually really focusing on that. Now, as we come back down and we come here, we have this tendency again to roll our shoulders forward as our humerus, the elbow, starts to come down behind our hips, right? So that's one of the reasons as we are going here, I really want to think about puffing out my chest. Now, if I want to progress this, right, I can stand on one leg, right? So I'm just going to pick up my foot off the ground. Now I have that stability element. If I want to progress further, I can use a foam pad, like an air conditioning pad, put that down on the ground, do the same thing. I can take a balance disc. That's a little bit harder. I can use a 2x4. I can use half of a foam roll, right? Some foam rolls come with that are a half shape, so it's got the round part and the flat part so you can sit it on the ground. I can use a Bosu, right? And with the Bosu, you've got two sides here. Now, Bosu actually says on here, do not stand on the flat side. Fuck that shit. Right? Get here. Right? So, go with your comfort level, right? Each one's going to progress a little bit up from the other. So, this is our eccentric phase, right? Coming back down that way. All right, second one is going to be dips. Now, I want to be really cognizant that we're not getting into this kyphotic posture too much, and it's one of the reasons why I don't train dips a whole lot. So using your parallel bars might be a little bit easier. We tend to do kind of round our bodies forward, and that's actually a little bit of a good thing because if you round your body forward, you're following your humerus a little bit. You're taking your lats out of it a little bit, but we're mostly focusing on triceps here. You can use a bench, right? I like to keep my hips as flat down as possible and try to stay upright as I come up. But I really want to be really cognizant of what's going on in my shoulders because, again, we're going into this hyperextended position in our shoulders, and I don't want to put too much tension on my shoulders. So be very cognizant. It's okay if you kind of roll your whole torso a little bit, then your hips go back. But what I really don't want is I don't want your hips out, right? Because what's happening is if my hips go out and I start dipping down, I lose this range of motion and I have to give that shoulder in order to get fully through that motion.
Front.